Hello folks, and welcome back to the workshop. As you can see by my breath here, it is damn cold in here. There's no heating and it's caused somewhat of a problem. Partially an oversight on my behalf, so we'll catch you up on where we're at. We've been a bit busy over the last couple of weeks doing some other bits and bobs, building a lovely bike for the daughter for Christmas and working on the daily driver to keep that thing running because apparently we need to earn money and stuff. And generally not getting as far as I'd like with the E30. However, before I embarked on doing all of that crap that stopped me from working on what I want to be working on, I've made really good progress wire wheeling the underside of the car, getting it ready for welding, and generally cleaning all the old crap off it. So let's go over there, we'll have a quick look at where we got to, and I'll explain the problem that I've got. Now, as you can see, we've got the E30 up on its side. And we've hit all of this with the wire wheel. We've got some very boring footage of me getting covered in crap and covering everything everywhere, which you can see a little bit of here. However, what we've got here is a slight problem. Can you see the discoloration on this brand new steel and all of this? That discoloration, my friends, is rust. And unfortunately, because in my infinite wisdom I wire wheeled this whole area, we now have flash rust appearing here, 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 all here.
20 minutes later.
Here, under here, here. Down here, under here, and on here. So that means we've got to wire wheel it again. That's not fun. The lesson we've learned in a workshop that is dry, but is not air conditioned, is not temperature controlled yet, we have issues with flash rust. Just because of the temperature change, moisture content of the air, we're well into the throes of winter now. We've had a good bloody storm, lots of rain, and the air is moist. We've got good ventilation in here, but it still affects this stuff. And it's quite irritating. So, from now on, we're going to address one smaller section at a time. Once we've got that cut out, welded up, I can then hit it with some epoxy primer and really seal it from the elements. And that way, it's never going to rust again. It's not in my lifetime anyway, hopefully, because we don't want to be doing this crap again. So, where we've got to, the rot on this corner, we've cut it all out, as you can see. It is no longer there. And we're going to start welding in a patch. So here is where the throttle pedal used to be. It sat very much like that. And as you can see, I've marked the positions of the throttle pedal on the outside of the framework. So I can quite happily cut this up. All these marks line up with the outside edge of the original piece underneath, which I'm going to cut out, clean up on the wire wheel, and remake some of it because it's generally really shit. So that I could have made a decent template and put it on here with this piece, but it's just far easier for me to weld it in a couple of different sections and beat it into place. So this is the first one we're going to put in. We'll get a couple of tacks here and there, get some clamps on it and squeeze it into place, get some heat in there and form it with a bit of brute force and ignorance. And then we can do this one here, where my hand is currently through, and weld that to this piece, and then we'll do the closing section on the top here, which is the most profiled bit and probably going to be the most difficult to make. And then we'll seam weld them all together, linish them back, and seal them up properly. It's not going to be perfect. Yes, I could have done it out of one piece, and yes, that would take an awful lot longer, ideally requiring a sheet metal bender, and I haven't got one yet. We will be making one at some point, or buying one if we're feeling particularly lazy, but for now this will be done in 3 pieces and fully seam welded together with a bit of brute force and ignorance in the meantime. So we'll cue the time lapse and we'll get welding. Alright folks, so in the time lapse you could see various bits of welding, grinding, cutting and shenanigans on this wheel arch area and bulkhead section, jacking point. However, I was a total dick and forgot to press the record button for a significant portion of this. So I have best part of, I don't know, 5 hours-ish of work that wasn't recorded because I'm a total knob. Sorry. However, you can see now that this whole arch area is pretty much finished. We need to get the wire wheel in here, finish off getting all this old seam sealer and crap off and take this brake hose off. But fabrication and welding wise, this is complete, which is a massive milestone for me. I'm so happy to have this done. So let's show you around what we've got. Now you can see here we've got the new jacking point and all the reinforced floor section. Within this area here we are double skinned and welded, fully seam welded inside and out. Jacking point is reinforced. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it's going to be covered in seam sealer, epoxy and underseal, and I think that'll be absolutely fine. We've tied in this section of the inner wing to this section of the bulkhead, just with a little stitch here. The old battery tray that was in here, we've got some pictures which I'll flash up in just a second. So you can see we've got the holes that were there previously, and this battery tray came across in this area and left a cavity up here which had rotted out. The battery tray wasn't needed because the battery is in the boot on the 325i, so we just cut it out and remade a section to go in there. I'll show you the other side in just a sec. And we've got 2 patches on the front here, which again, just small patches of rot, cut them out and jobs are good. So if we go round, shift the car over on this rotisserie, it's a wonderful piece of kit. What we've got is the old area where the battery tray was. It came all the way out here and round in a semicircle. So with it not being needed, we've cut all that out, put in this formed piece here, and seam welded it all the way around. Now it is going to have a little bit of touching with the grinder and a bit of seam sealer. We've taken a lug off the top there, and here there was a bracket for something which is going to be in the way of new turbo, so we've cut that off. So I intend to cut this section of the chassis leg off completely and put a 45-degree plate on there to give me more clearance for the turbo. It's great when you've got to clearance your chassis for a turbo. It means you've got the right size turbo. So that's where we're at. It's been a lot of work getting to this part, but I'm very happy with it, really. No, it isn't going to win any awards. Is it perfectly functional? Yes. I am a happy boy. We've got some significant progress. So, thank you very much for watching, folks. It's been another busy video. Hopefully I've managed to edit this so it's not such a behemoth, and we shall see you in the next video. Well, hopefully we're going to get onto a bit of spraying. Eek! Thank you once again. See you soon.